Hey everybody, I'm gonna give it a minute before I start talking about this, but I want to talk about invoice scams for a second because we've been seeing a dramatic increase in invoice scams recently. I think there's enough going on that I think it's worth bringing it to our attention because I'm actually seeing a newer one. And interestingly enough, it's actually come to me. And that's why I'm bringing it to your attention. So I'm going to give it a minute so we can get some people in here, and then we're going to talk about what to watch out for when it comes to invoice scams, because this is super fascinating, and it's all social engineering. This is like the reality of all of the invoicing scams that we see. They're not necessarily well thought out. In fact, you'll find this one is actually, I think, our ticketing system stripped out some of their code, and that's why it's doing funky things. But if you were to get this in a regular email platform, it might look a little different. But I think it's worth talking about. So we have seen these invoice scams, and what it is when you get it, you'll see this hello AP accounting. In other words, they don't know your company name. Please find the attached invoice for John Hansen requested that I forward it to you. Okay. For further details, kindly refer to the conversation below. This payment is long overdue, and I would appreciate this response. Now, what these companies don't realize in our case, there's only like two people here that are actually doing accounting. So this would be a scam that's going to be targeted at a larger company. We look larger, so that's why they're targeting us, maybe. Or, of course, like most phishing scams, they're just sending out as many of these things as they can. But here's the kicker, and this is where bigger companies with bigger accounting departments get themselves in trouble. They don't have a policy for this. So here's an example. Below, you see what looks like an email from me because it's got my name, right? From John Hansman, sent on February 27th. Hi, Wesley. I acknowledge the receipt and review of the attached invoice. Additionally, I have been notified of a new payment portal. Here, my registration. Now, here's what's really crazy. And this is where I think our system actually stripped out some of their code that would have been hiding all this. But here's all the email addresses that the scammers were sending to, and they would normally in an email and Outlook, these may be blocked. But here's all the email addresses in their list, which is crazy. So you see all these, and then you see forwarded the attached invoice to that address. Forward all related correspondence. Please forward the attached invoice to that address, and it'll be processed tomorrow. There, thank you, John Hansman. Of course, there's no my normal signature's not here, so it's just John Hansman, and here's the initial supposed email. So what these criminals are doing is they're actually crafting an email where they're pretending that they sent the CEO an email and then verifying, oh, well, we sent that over to your CEO, and here's the email that we're going to forward you to pretend that he actually authorized you to go ahead and pay this. And then a larger company would just send that money over. We've talked about this in some of the keynotes that I've done. I talked specifically about how this invoicing scam takes a lot of money from a lot of companies. And you think about this, you see all the emails that they sent this to. I don't even know how many emails are in here, but there's thousands of emails. If they just get 5% or 2% or even a little bit of these, they're making a ton of money by basically faking emails. They create an email that looks like it might have been from me, and they forward it off to the accounting department in hopes that it gets paid. Of course, in this case, I am the accounting department with my wife and our CPA. So there's very few hoops for it to go through, and all those things internally get confirmed because that's how we operate as a best practice. And so here's my point. If you see an invoice that's from your CEO and you're in accounting, or if you are the CEO, and you should have a policy in place to make sure that your accounting department is not just sending out payments because you said so by email, especially when the signature, as we saw below, is not mine. That's not how my emails look. This is plain text. It's not even anywhere near close. So put something in place, save your business from being hacked, and let's just make sure that we're really thinking through and training our employees to do the best thing we can for our business because it's super important. We're seeing this happen all the time, and they're sending out these scams because they work. That's the main reason why they're actually doing this over and over and over again. So stay safe, stay secure. If you need anything from us, let me know. Hey, also, while I have you, hear this long, I hope I didn't lose you. But while I have you, we have a lunch and learn in Spokane this Friday. There's still room if you want to come join us for Chipotle and cybersecurity conversation. We'll see you then. Thanks.